The American Chemical Society, or the ACS, has a really cool feature on their website called the Molecule of the Week, in which they pick one molecule and they talk about the history of that molecule, why is it so prevalent today, and why we should even care about it. So it's a lot of fun. And so I want to share that with you guys. I'm going to share my screen. And so this is the website from the ACS called Molecule of the Week. You can see the website up there in the search engine. And then you can also Google Molecule of the Week, ACS, and you'll find it very easily. So here's our molecule. And it starts off with this, I'm a notorious chemical that's been much in the news lately. And so that kind of like piques my interest, like what? A molecule like benzene is in the news? And yeah, spoiler, I already said, hey, that's benzene. So sometimes the molecules that they talk about, we've seen a lot in organic chemistry class or in Orgo labs. And benzene is one of those molecules that we see all the time. But if you didn't know it was benzene, you would just click here, what molecule am I? And it would definitely tell you what the molecule is and why it's so cool. So I want to talk about why this is so cool is because have you seen in the news lately that some states are starting to ban gas stoves and ovens, natural gas stoves? And so some people are like, well, why? What's going on here? Well, it has to do with this benzene molecule, or it could be a reason for these bans on gas stoves. I'm not claiming I'm an expert and I fully understand why states are doing this, but this may be a piece of the puzzle as to why they're doing it. So a little bit of history about benzene is that there's the famous British scientist Michael Faraday, who is known for his studies in electricity. A little less well known is that he's the person that isolated benzene for the first time. And he isolated it from coal-derived gas. And so we use coal to get a gas, and then that illuminates. So it's an illuminating gas that he isolated benzene from. Years go by and scientists learn that, hey, benzene is made up of carbon and hydrogen. And it's not until we come to a German chemist right here, August Kekulé, who like, okay, we need to figure out its structure. And what's so cool about this organic chemist is how he came to think about the structure of benzene. And the story goes that he had a dream in which he saw a snake slithering around. And then that snake in his dream bit its own tail, forming a ring. And so that dream started the cogs in his brain to start thinking like, okay, what is the structure of benzene? And it is a cyclic molecule. Well, that's how the story goes. The trying to determine and figure out the structure of this, the thought never crossed his mind that benzene was a cyclic molecule until he had that dream of the snake biting his tail. And another years go by, scientists continue to study what benzene is, and they realize that between all the carbons, the carbon-carbon bonds, we've learned that it is a alternating a double, single type of bonding system. And it was interesting when they discovered that the bond lengths of all the carbons are exactly the same. That's not what we would expect. We would expect the bond length between two carbons with a double bond to be shorter than the two carbons that have a single bond between them. And so this helped us, to explain that, we learn about aromaticity. And that is an organic chemistry 2 topic. But why is benzene so prevalent today? Why should we be worried about it? Well, one reason why we should be worried about it is because it is a carcinogen. It will cause cancer. And some scientists at Stanford University, Robert B. Jackson, here's his paper. They just published it a couple months, or in June 15th. So last month, they published a paper that shows that gas stoves emit benzene. Isn't that crazy? And so if you come to this paper and want to read it, it's going to go through their protocol and how they figured out that gas burning stoves emit benzene. And it emits benzene in levels that may not be very good for people. So this may be a study that many politicians and leaders are looking to say, hey, yeah, we have to stop using these things. So I thought that was really cool and really fun. So I hope you found it interesting as well.